God, you're not going to be a part of my sex life. I'm going to do what I want to do there, even though the Bible is clear about remaining pure until you're married. If you're in high school or you're in college or you're in your 30s or 40s, these tips can still be applied to your life. Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, and baby is moving a lot right now. Okay, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you some tips for dating when you want to remain pure. So whether you want to remain pure for biblical reasons or just personal reasons, these tips will definitely help you out. And yeah, so let's jump right into them. Tip number one would be to date someone on the same spiritual walk as you and with the same beliefs. Now, the reason I say same spiritual walk and beliefs is because if you date someone with the same beliefs as you, like say you're Christian and you date someone who says they're Christian as well, that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. There's so many different levels to Christianity. There's the person who says, oh yeah, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the Bible, I try to be a good person every day, but do I really spend time with God every day? Not really. Do I go to church often? Not really. And then there's the Christian who goes to church every Sunday, tries to really strengthen and deepen their walk with them one-on-one at home every single day, does their best to self-improve, and then there's everywhere in between. So that would be step one, is to make sure, yes, you are on the same page. Yes, okay, you're a Christian, I'm a Christian, cool, but are we on the same spiritual walk? Because like I just said, there's different levels to Christianity, and if you're someone who's the second option I described versus the first, you guys are gonna have conflict. So make sure you're on the same spiritual walk. And I know every single person is not going to be on the same exact spiritual level or walk, and that's okay. But make sure you're both aiming to be at the same place, if that makes sense. And tip number two goes along with kind of what I was just talking about, and that is to talk about your expectations very early on. So after you establish, okay, yeah, we're both Christians, we're both on the same spiritual walk, we're both trying to be at this level, and we're both doing these steps daily. Okay, now talk about your expectations, because like I said, there's different levels to different beliefs and different levels to Christianity. I know a lot of Christians who and people who just take parts of the Bible and leave out others, like in sex is one of them. So in being intimate, so a lot of them will do everything else, but oh no, God, you're not going to be a part of my sex life. I'm going to do what I want to do there, even though the Bible is clear about remaining pure until you're married. So talking about your expectations early on is very, very important, because the worst thing that can happen is you're dating this person, you fall in love with them, and then their expectations for being intimate, they want to go to the next level, but you don't. But since you never talked about it, it becomes a conflict. So basically the outcome will be this. It'll either be you say, no, I'm staying firm, and they're like, wow, well, I wasn't expecting this at all. I thought this wouldn't be a problem. And then this person's aggravated, and then this person's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Or they break up with you, or you know, you end up compromising on what you believe and what you want to do, and then you actually go there with them, and then you end up feeling guilty and like, no, I know this is not what I wanted to do. So then either way that you look at it, you're heartbroken. There's struggles in your relationship, and neither one of you are really happy. So make sure you talk about your expectations very, very, very early on in your dating. And tip number three is to go on a lot of dates. Now, they don't have to be expensive dates. They could be free dates. If the weather is nice, you can go on hikes, you can go on bike rides, you can do things that are free, go for walks. Excuse me. Or you can go out to eat, you can go bowling, you can do a bunch of things. But here's the key point. Part ways afterwards. Now, not every single time, but most times, spend your time going on the date and then parting ways afterwards, because depending on how old you are, if you go back to the other person's house and then you're just like, okay, let's cuddle and watch a movie now. We just had a great day. So you guys are both feeling the vibe, you're both super in love and whatever. You start cuddling, watching the movie, and then cuddling turns into something else, and then one thing leads to another, and you just don't want to go there. So avoid, if you, whenever you do hang out, try to hang out outside of your house. I guess that's what the tip would be, is to hang out outside of your guys' houses as much as you can, just so that that barrier of, that temptation isn't right there. You kind of will have to go a little bit more out of your way to fulfill that temptation if it arises, you know what I mean? Hopefully I'm making sense. And my last tip would be to not neglect hanging out with your friends and family members just because you start this new relationship. I was guilty of this years ago. Just a little bit. I mean, I was never one to have like a whole bunch of friends, but the friends that I did have, sometimes I'd be like, oh, do you want to hang out at this time? Because their schedule was very limited or something. And I'd be like, because I would know in the back of my head, I was supposed to hang out with my boyfriend, let's do another day. And, it's okay to do that once in a while, but more often than not, try to really pursue those other relationships, because if this is the relationship that God has for you, and for you to marry this person one day and start a family, you're going to be spending the rest of your life with them, and basically every waking moment with them. Literally, you're gonna wake up next to them, go to sleep next to them. And so don't neglect those other relationships in the meantime, because trust me, like I said, if this is the relationship God has for you, you're gonna spend plenty of time with that significant other. So try to go a little bit out of your way if needed to hang out with family and hang out with other friends. And even if it's with that person, hang out with them, with that person. Don't just always have to hang out with that person one-on-one. Yes, one-on-one time is important, because that's where you really get to know them and connect with them on a deeper level, and see where their headspace is at about life. But don't neglect other relationships, because those are very, very important as well. All right, so those are my tips for dating when you want to remain pure. I hope I got my point across, and I hope you guys benefited from this video. No matter if you're in high school or you're in college or you're in your 30s or 40s, these tips can still be applied to your life in some shape or form. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss another video. And yeah, good luck. I know it's definitely not easy to remain pure and sexually abstinent, especially when you're super in love with someone. But yeah, these tips can definitely help you. So I will see you guys soon. Bye.